After the woman finished work and returned home, she found that there were many police officers surrounding her front door. Her heart immediately tightened. She hurried inside the house, only to find her daughter brutally murdered. This caused Amy to completely break down emotionally. Fortunately, through the police's continuous investigation, the murderer was finally caught. But during the trial, an unexpected turn occurred. The defense lawyer questioned the evidence, stating that there was only one sample available for testing. Since the prosecution could not provide extra samples, the judge had no choice but to declare the murderer not guilty and release him. What was infuriating was that the murderer even approached them, mocking them. This immediately enraged her husband, who rushed forward and tackled the murderer. However, security personnel quickly pulled him away. Seeing the murderer released, Amy felt as if her heart had died, but soon, she pulled herself together. Determined to find evidence to convict the murderer, she began to follow the murderer every day. While the murderer was delivering goods to a woman's house, he started observing the interior when the woman went inside to get money. Once he confirmed that only one person was home, he immediately identified the target. When the woman came out to hand him the money, he pretended to leave but then circled around to the fence to observe. Amy watched all of this, but the next second, the murderer suddenly turned around and saw Amy. Amy quickly drove away in panic. She went to the police station to explain to the sheriff, hoping to have the murderer arrested, but was scolded by the sheriff for disregarding her safety, and told that they couldn't arrest him without direct evidence. Seeing that there was no hope with the sheriff, Amy had no choice but to leave. Soon, the sheriff found the murderer and angrily warned him, but this made the murderer realize that Amy had said something. Out of revenge, he targeted Amy's young daughter. Luckily, there were many people at school, and he never found the opportunity to strike. But when Amy went to pick up her daughter after school, the murderer suddenly approached them, threatening Amy with her daughter, telling her not to interfere anymore. Realizing that the murderer would always be a ticking time bomb as long as he was alive, Amy decided to handle him herself. She immediately found a professional trainer and started practicing shooting in self-defense. But before she could make her move, the murderer committed another crime. He came again to deliver goods to a woman's house, and while she went inside to get money, he secretly followed her into the house. Soon, a large number of police officers arrived at the scene, but the scene had been completely cleaned up, leaving not a single trace behind. Upon learning this, Amy was immediately filled with rage. She immediately prepared to take matters into her own hands, but she was stopped by an investigator, who advised Amy to stay calm. Otherwise, she would face jail time. The only viable option was to act in self-defense. This momentarily snapped Amy out of her anger. She made an excuse to send her husband and daughter away, then quietly sneaked into the murderer's house and ransacked the place. Before leaving, she deliberately left her hat behind. When the murderer came home and saw the mess, he was immediately enraged. When he spotted the hat, he instantly realized it was Amy's doing. That night, he quietly came to Amy's house, broke the glass on the door and entered the house. Hearing the sound of water running upstairs, he immediately went upstairs and gently opened the bathroom door. But when he carefully pulled back the curtain, he found a piece of clothing inside. Before he could react, Amy appeared behind him with a gun. The murderer froze in fear and pretended to beg Amy for mercy. But as Amy turned away for a moment, he quickly tackled her to the ground. After a brief struggle, Amy was thrown at the bottom of the stairs. Seeing the murderer approach her step by step, in a desperate moment, Amy grabbed the gun on the ground and aimed at him. With a gunshot, she avenged her daughter herself. When the police arrived, they saw the broken window, and the case was ruled as justifiable self-defense.